because in Germany there's not a shorten for, it's Max.
That's fine.
Genieße dein Leben und Autos bis zum Maximum.
So we just said enjoy life and cars to the max. In previous videos I was going to end the channel and that was the end of Max Revs. Then I started it up again. I brought some content about, like, you know, midlife crisis, men's health and all that kind of stuff. And then I realized most of you that joined this channel were all about Cayman ownership and enjoying life in cars to the max. You don't want to hear about me talking about my life and the things I've been through. I believe Cayman ownership has taught me so much in life. I purchased the 987 Gen 2 initially. That was a car that I could afford. I have a 981 GT4 and I did have to extend myself with finance to purchase that car. I just want to say to you that deep down I am a 987 owner. It suits my budget well. I quit my relatively high paid city job for a calmer life because I believe my life was quite balanced. My son is laughing because he's behind the camera and I don't know what he's asking me to do. But what are you saying?
It's really dark and
see, they can't see my face.
Barely.
Okay.
And the autofocus is that way.
It really doesn't matter which Cayman you own, and actually it doesn't matter which car you own. I think we as men go through life, and whether you have a family or not, there are things that are passionate, that you're passionate about, things that are special to you, be that cars, or with me, I'm really passionate about coffee at the moment, making coffee, grinding coffee, making espresso. We all have our own little passions that we indulge in life. And all I can say is if I don't bring many other videos on this channel to you, I want you to realize that Cayman ownership has made me a better man in life. And it's also made me a more honest man in the sense that I don't want to be someone that I am not. I cannot afford a GT3. The GT4 is at the bleeding edge of what I can afford. And now that I've quit my city job for a different kind of job with less stress, I don't really have the money to afford a GT4, but I'm more of a 987 man.
Baby, I don't know what I should do. You sure make me feel like loving you. You sure do. Come on, baby.
During COVID, which is when I purchased the 981 GT4, it was hard to meet people, it was hard to have kind of social connections, and I did get a bit obsessed with things, watches, cars obviously, and the 981 GT4 came up for sale. I always turned up to car meets in my 987, and I think, you know, I did touch upon kind of men's mental health and a bit of psychology on this channel. If I'm going to try and apply any of that to me, I think I had some insecurities about being a 987 owner when I'd meet groups of guys at car shows and even, you know, friends through the channel, and they'd all have a, you know, I say a better car. Better is all, you know, what does even better mean? But essentially a later edition 981 GTS, GT4. And I think I did lack a bit of confidence in myself earlier in my life. It's no surprise that when men get a bit older and when they feel a bit of a decline in their power, they associate themselves either with young women, fast cars, and they, you know, it's a tricky thing to get into. Obviously, if you've got loads of money and you can afford to do things, but who needs a £1 million Ferrari driving through the streets of London when the speed limit's 20 miles an hour? If they're taking it out, you know, through the Alps or on the roads or tracking it or whatever, that's great. I've reached that point in my life where the things that I own don't identify me. And I think the 981 GT4 was born out of the fact that, yes, I can get a GT4. It's a great car. It's an aspirational dream that I've always wanted. And it was a bit of an alpha car, to be fair, because as far as top trumps is concerned, to me, there was no other better car than the GT4 RS that came out. The 718 GT4 doesn't interest me for various reasons. The 981 GT4 is more analog. So at the moment, I'm trying to get my life back into balance, and I have done that. I quit quite a stressful city job, which allowed me to pay for things like the 981 GT4. I've kind of come to the conclusion that if you want the more expensive things in life, be that Rolexes or fast Porsches, top of the range expensive ones, well, you're going to need obviously the money. And to get the money, well, you've either got to work really hard, or some people are lucky, they make great investments. I don't know, some people have got probably rich parents or inheritance and whatever. I don't really care where the source of money comes from. But for me, I don't have the inheritance or the rich parents, you know, and any money that I spend on things has to come through my income. And then if it's coming through my income, it kind of means that I'm working in a job where I'm getting pushed to my limits, I'm working longer hours, I'm spending time away from my family. So on the basis that I have to work in a more stressful environment, which has an impact to my health, it has an impact to the time I spend with my family, but it allows me to get a GT4. Is that the right Cayman for me? And I've always said the best Cayman is the one that you can afford, and I'm going to adapt that now. The best Cayman is the one that you can afford without having to push your life to such an extent that you are not leading a balanced life. And I would say I was not necessarily leading a balanced life for the last 5 years. Bit too much focus on work, the work which obviously allows to pay for the bills, to go on trips to Switzerland and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to spend lots of money to have quality of life. And I guess that's where the whole Cayman ownership angle comes in. I would say I can derive 90% of my Cayman ownership from a 987. So why do I have the GT4? Well, as I kind of told you, I was probably dealing with a bit of insecurity. Having a better car presents me as a better man. And by better, what does that mean? Well, I know most of you don't really want to get into the depths of human psychology, but on this channel I just wanted to let you know that Cayman ownership has taught me an awful lot about life, and more so than the car itself is the people you meet along the way. The best Cayman is the one that you can afford without stretching your life to such an extent that you're burning the candle at both edges and not spending enough time with your family. And you need to live a balanced life. That's all I'd say. And I probably wasn't living a balanced life. I was, as I said, focusing too much on work. And does a £1 million Ferrari, does a 992 GT3 RS give me more excitement than a 987 Gen 2 that's about a £20,000 car? For me, no. But I feel you have to go through that cycle in life to actually see what it means to you. We're all different. I'm sure some people love £1 million cars, do everything to get Ferrari, and that's fine. But for me, leading a balanced life is what it's all about. I feel that I've brought all the content I can on this channel. So as you know, I kind of closed down the channel December 2023. I opened it up again to focus on men's health. And actually I've realized that we all go through very specific journeys in life. And what message I may try to have for you about how Cayman ownership has changed my life, well, I don't know if that resonates a lot with people out there, whether you can associate yourselves with the fact that buying a car, Cayman, allows you to escape your home life, you escape work, you can meet other people at car meets, you get to expose and experience the side of yourself that you probably can't do at work or at home with your family. So Cayman ownership to me has allowed me to get back in touch with my passions, and I hope that's kind of done the same for you. They are great, well-made cars, and I love the fact you can get in from a 987.1 all the way up through to a GT4 RS if that's your bag. There's a Cayman for everybody. Love the car. I love what it's allowed me to experience in life, but what more can I bring? I don't think you guys really want to hear more from me on the men's health issues, and you know, who am I to actually give advice to all of you?
Baby, I don't know what I should do. You sure make me feel like loving you. You sure do. Come on, baby.